Hello everybody, and it is good to talk to all of you again today. Now, patch 0.8.11 has dropped. We have officially started the holiday patch for 2019. Now, before I get into the actual things that happened in this patch, which is going to get me kind of worked up and a little bit upset. First things first, I want to wish all of you a very, very happy holiday season. Now, originally, I was going to be around a lot more during December, and I was going to make a whole ton of videos, guides, and all that stuff over the course of the next little while, and that, you'd have plenty of things to watch during Christmas break. However, due to a governmental bureaucratic screw-up / nightmare that has been happening, I unfortunately have to go back home, which means I have to drive 2,500 kilometers back home to go fix this one just horrible little thing that apparently I have to go there in person. They can't do it through email, they can't do it through mail, they can't do it through any other way. I just have to show myself in person there to fix it. So anyways, horrible little situation. Not going to be around much during this Christmas break. I will try my best to pre-upload some stuff for all of you, but right now, going to wish you all, first of all, a very good holiday season, and yeah, just hope things go really well for you, and hope you spend some time with your family and all that. Because wargaming sure doesn't seem to want to do that for all of you, because, well, I mean, first they made us, look at the dockyard thing, and, a lot of CCs got really, really hyped up about it, because it was a really cool concept. It was actually a really cool concept. So what the dockyard was supposed to be is that you have to complete a whole bunch of things, notably, these shipbuilding boost modules that you can acquire by acquiring a temporary currency called the shipbuilding tokens, and they provide you X amount of points, and they also provide X number of points per minute even while you're offline. And the end result is that by the end of it all, you're going to be able, after 51.3 million points, be able to acquire a very, very shiny tier 10 Puerto Rico US super cruiser. It's like an upsized Alaska. And during the course of the points accumulating and you completing these individual stages, you're going to see the ship building, which is like a super cool concept. And you would also be able to collect some rewards along the way, so take a look in here, each individual one. There's things like flag rewards, there's coal rewards. There's all these rewards, right? You sometimes got gift containers, there is all these little things that you could pick up. There's a permanent camo here, I think, that you're supposed to be able to pick up as well. So lots of cool things, and this whole concept is really neat, so that's fine. Now you'll notice that there are a couple of boosters over here that you can pay for in doubloons. So it's 6,000 for the first stage, it's 8,000 for the second one, and then 10,000 again. So all added together, there's like 24,000 doubloons that you can help boost progress, right? You'll see that there's an instantaneous boost there, where it's just going to immediately give you those points, and then you'll see that there's a continuous boost, which is X number of points per minute that you will accumulate. Fantastic. But the way that this was advertised by Wargaming, and I'm just going to quote directly off their website, was, don't want to spend any doubloons or boosters, don't want to spend any doubloons on boosters, my bad, to finish building Puerto Rico on time? It's entirely possible to build Puerto Rico using only the boosters available for shipbuilding tokens. To achieve this, simply, by the way, look at the word choice, simply complete the event's directives, pass through daily missions, and don't miss any daily shipments to get more shipbuilding tokens as soon as possible, and activate boosters in the dockyard. Sounds really simple. Sounds like you should just be able to, get on, play some games, and, you'd eventually get to Puerto Rico. That is completely full of, it is so full of just, I'm trying not to use angry words today. I'm trying to be very, very calm and civil about this, but okay, let's look at the reason why I'm trying so hard not to be angry, but I have this rage internally, okay? So the way they explain it is that you need to acquire these, shipbuilding tokens, which you can acquire by completing directives. And so they have 7 different stages for these directives. A lot of them are locked until a certain number of days have passed, right? So you'll see that right now stage 1 is open, but stage 2 will be available in 4 more days, and then stage 3 in 8 more days, stage 4 in 12 more days. So, you know, as the directives unlock over the course of the next month, you're going to have constantly be logging in and playing and playing and playing and playing. Which again, according to the website, this should be very easy to do, right? This should be a really easy thing to do. Until you actually spend some time and you start looking at the directives. Now, stage 1 wasn't too bad. You know, I looked at stage 1, wasn't too bad. 65 ships. Okay, that's, you know, you can do it in co-op. It's pretty quickly, I guess. You know, you can do it. See, you can do it in co-op. So 65 ships. Okay, that's not so bad. Then you start to look at the credits that they want you to grind for. Oh, okay. They want me to grind here 12 million credits. Okay, if you're just playing CVs, you need to grind 4 million credits. Okay, well, if you throw on as much of the, you know, credit camos and flags and things like that, all right, 4 million credits still seems kind of reasonable. Oh, there's a couple of Italian premium cruiser missions for the Gorizia, but you have to buy that ship for like $44. You know, you don't actually get that ship until Directive Stage 3, but then after Directive Stage 3, those missions aren't really valid anymore, because in order to get to Directive Stage 3, you'd have to pass Stage 1, 2, and so these missions really, like, unless you buy the ship right now, these missions don't mean anything. Okay, so look at these missions and you go, okay, it's all right. And then you start to see, like, where in the past, when you go into directives, you see missions that you would feel like there's some sort of, like, I guess, cohesiveness together. There's like a synergy where it's like you could play a ship, you could play 2 missions at once while you're playing that ship, and it would make life easier when you're doing directives. So the first one I noticed today was, in stage 1, I noticed, okay, pyrotechnics was doing fire damage, and then there were sparklers, which just set on fire. So you figure, okay, well, that sounds pretty straightforward. Just go in game, you play like a ship. You know, for example, if you had Smolensk, you played Smolensk, and you'd be able to complete these 2 directives relatively quickly. Until you realize that, well, no, you can't do that. And that's because these individual directive missions, they're actually hiding the exact things you have to do, because you have to click on them. So pyrotechnics actually requires you to do the fire damage using carriers or destroyers. But sparklers requires you to play and set fires in battleships or cruisers. So literally, these 2 missions don't synergize. So that means you have to put more time in to play in order to complete both of these missions, where in the past you would have some synergy. But at least Directive Stage 1 is, you're like, okay, not too painful, right? I mean, once you finish it, you get 200 shipbuilding tokens, which means you go to dockyard, and you would be able, with those 200 dockyard tokens, you should be able to buy the next free stage, which is going to cost you 200. So employee canteen, all right, you get 750,000 more points, and you're going to generate 104 points a minute. Okay, that's pretty good, because it's still 4 days until the actual start of the actual shipbuilding. There's a little bit more time to actually get yourself ready there. Okay, but the next one requires another 200 shipbuilding tokens for high capacity storage. Okay, so in 4 days, next directive will unlock. So as soon as that directive unlocks, we get Directive 2, and we have to go do that. All right, now you need to complete 5 of the missions, okay? You have to complete 5 of the missions, and you have to do it as quickly as possible. And the reason you have to do it as quickly as possible is because you want to have the boost kick in as early as possible. The later the boost kicks in, the more points you've lost on that points per minute basis. Okay, so let's take a look at Directive 2 and let's see how reasonable the missions are. Mission number 1, destroy 90 ships. Okay, Directive 1, we already have to destroy 65 ships, which, you know, tonight I was kind of dicking around on co-op, trying to get my snowflakes knocked off. A couple hours in, only killed 14 out of 65. All right, so more work to be done there. I mean, typically on an average game, what's the number of frags you're gonna get? Again, co-op, it might be a little bit better. You know, you can get a bit more, especially if you play some ships that allow you to kind of YOLO in there and get some quick kills. So, but I mean, let's just say you average like 3 or 4 kills per game on co-op. It'll take you still quite a few games. So 90. Okay, 90 ships is going to take a while. All right, well, let's take a look at what else other missions you do have. 150 hits to Citadel, set on fires, cause flooding, or torpedo hits. Okay, that's not too bad. I think that mission can be doable in a reasonable amount of time. Okay, next one. All right, and here's where things start to get a little bit kind of screwy, right? So this one requires you to do 5.6 million HP in damage to a ship. Assume that you average 100k damage a game. This will take you 56 games to get. All right. Okay, moving on. Here you have to tank, in terms of potential damage, 36 million potential damage. Luckily, you can still do it in things that actually have armor, so not too bad yet, right? You're thinking. All right, remember again, there's that time limit. You got to get it down as quickly as humanly possible. All right, so the missions are starting to look a little bit harder, and they're going to take a little bit more time. Next one, 85,000 base experience. Base experience. If you average 2k base per game, which by the way is hard for a large majority of players, that'll take you easily in excess of 40 battles to do. All right, now you can start to see that in some of them, yes, there's some synergy. So for example, there is some synergy in terms of doing this in co-op, you know, to do 5.6 million damage with the 36 million tanked, right? There's a bit of synergy there. But base experience, if you were doing this in co-op where you're averaging like 500 base experience a game, if you're top of the team, is going to take you a sweet amount of co-op games to get. So right now, maybe you're looking at 90 ships, 5.6 million, 36 tanked, and then maybe this luck, the first 4 missions, because this one can be pretty hard to do. What about any others? 300 aircraft shot down. Ooh, okay, that's maybe doable if you spec like, or you bring an A ship and you run into CVs all the time over the course of a co-op game, which again, you don't get that many kills because co-op ends quickly, right? Rough, that's a little rough. And then here's the ones that will be iffy. You're expected to earn 400k experience. So if you think about 400k experience and what that actually means, that's pretty much a grind from like tier 1 to tier 8. So you're expected, again, to do this as quickly as humanly possible. 400,000 experience. So I guess you could do these now. You can do these 135,000 EXP grinds, right? For players like me who've been around, who have tons of camo, tons of flags, this is maybe not that bad. You know, I can do 130,000 experience in probably like, let's say 15 games, assuming I'm averaging like, let's say 10k EXP. If I'm earning a little bit more, like 15k EXP, I can probably do this in, yeah, about 10 games. All right, 400,000 experience. It's still gonna take a bit longer. All right, so far it's getting a little rough. It's getting a little rough. Imagine the free player, by the way. To put into perspective what 135,000 EXP looks like to a free player, I played an Arc Royal, and you know, literally Super Unicum Arc Royal player as a CV. Played with not a lot of the EXP flags, because assuming that, you know, a lot of players maybe don't have so many flags. Using the premium camo, running a premium account, 5 hours in, doing very well with my Arc Royal, I scored about 60,000 experience. 5 hours of continuous playing, 15 straight games, 60,000 experience. So in order to finish this, I need to play another 15 games minimum, and I'm not even anywhere near this 400,000. So again, you got to get this directive done ASAP. It's looking pretty bad already, right? All right. And it gets more and more ludicrous. All right. Now, Directive 3, I have to say, if you can get to Directive 3, even if you don't get Puerto Rico, at least you get a free Gorizia. All right. So here you go. You at least get a free Tier 7 premium ship. So there, Wargaming has been generous and has given you something for free. So fantastic. All right. But let's keep going. Let's keep going to the more insane directives, because remember, you have to do all of these directives, right? Because remember, Directive 2 only gives you 250, so you've managed to build the next one. So you got 50 extra ones there, and then you got 300 here at the end of Directive 3, which is enough to build the next building in the thing. Remember, all this time you're going to be committing time into this game, right? So far so good, right? You got another 300 tokens there. You can probably build the next stage, and then as you get to the later ones, here's where things start to get really freaking rough. Directive 5. So remember the same problem. It's not like Directive 1 and 2, you have to do in short periods of time, and then you get more time later. No, it doesn't work that way. You have the same number of days to complete each directive. Directive 1 and 2 were pretty easy to do, but look at Directive 5. And so mission 1, Directive 5 is you got to earn 20 million credits. 20 million credits. If I run a Missouri, slap on all the all the credit earning camos and flags and whatnot, I can do this. Yes, I can do this in reasonable time. What about people who don't have a Missouri? Oh, which by the way is a ship that most people can't get anymore because its credit earning potential is too high. Oh, okay. So in order to get this, you play Missouri, you have to play minimum how many games? Like 40 maybe? I don't know. Typical premium earnings about 500,000 credits, so 40 games to do this. All right. Okay, so let's say you do that. Here's 150,000 base EXP requirement. Assuming 2K base experience, if you're good, and 2K base experience is actually quite high, you gotta win you gotta win, because that's the only way you're gonna get that 2K base. Win 75 games. Okay. Here's the more ludicrous one. You have to tank, get ready for this, not tank, but you have to absorb potential damage. 47 million potential damage in a Japanese, Italian, or Pan-American cruiser. Yeah, cruiser, not a battleship, cruiser. 47 million potential damage. Good luck with that mission. Good luck. I would say probably 40 games at least in order to finish that one. So maybe the first 3 can be kind of all played together at the same time. All right, that's fine. Okay, and then here's one that is a battleship mission. So this one and this cruiser mission don't synergize at all. So now you're just maybe playing BBs. Japanese French battleships. Hit an enemy for 1,700 times with your main battery. Okay. I assume you have really good aim, that you can hit everything perfectly. As a typical battleship, yeah, you might be getting 100 hits a game. Okay, so about maybe 17 games minimum, assuming 100 hits, maybe more, probably more, most likely more. Okay, and then the next mission is, Japanese and Pan-Asian destroyers. Okay, again, doesn't synergize with any of these ones. 200 set on fire cause flooding ribbons. 200 of them. All right. Okay. Maybe for Pan-Asian destroyer, maybe not so bad, right? Okay, next one. Oh, this is a carrier mission. All right, so it's not a cruiser mission. Doesn't synergize with that. Doesn't synergize with battleships. Not destroyers either. Okay, but you got to earn 350,000 experience on a carrier. Remember that Ark Royal thing I was talking about earlier? 60,000 experience after a 5-hour session playing 15 straight games and doing very, very well. 350k. So for me, that would take me almost 6 straight sessions of 5 hours, so about 30 hours to do that mission, which is still not going to be enough for the 150,000 base experience, because that requires 75. Oh, fuck. Okay, well, look at this one. So 47 million potential damage on Japanese, Italian, Pan-American cruisers. 47 fucking million again in, guess what? Cruisers again. All right. And then we have another damage mission. And you got to do 4.5 million damage, assuming 100k a game, 45 games. And it doesn't synergize. And that's like all these missions don't synergize. There's no common synergy here. Every single one is purposely designed to not have you synergize, with exceptions of the first 2. And then of course you have this one, 50,000 base experience in US, Soviet, or European destroyers. Again, a class that just doesn't synergize with anything else. This is like something completely different. And then finally, the best of all is earn 30,000 base experience in Commonwealth ships. There's like 2 of those ships. Just how long is this going to take you to do, when you have to remember that in order to do the actual Puerto Rico build fast enough, you have to do these as quickly as possible. One forum post I read earlier, somebody said you'd have to get it done basically within like 2 to 3 days of the quest dropping, is basically what it is. Okay, yeah, and then you think all this is pretty rough. Well, let's look at the last one here, because we're not done. Look at Directive 7, the final one of the directives. And, well, here's a fun one. You've got to earn, there's again another 20 million credits. By the way, the 20 million credits are like, 3 in a row. That's the equivalent of trying to earn like 60.6 million credits, which is a phenomenal amount of credits, especially for a lot of players. Again, like I said, the large majority of players do not have the camo and flag resources that someone like me has, and to expect them to be able to do that mission in a reasonable time in order to complete the Puerto Rico build is just, it's insane. I don't think the majority of players are going to be able to do that. But anyways, okay, moving on. This one, 1.1 million experience. And again, look at the bottom, and you won't see a lot of synergy. You won't see the synergy. Here you're expected to play British and Italian cruisers. Here you're expected to play British and American battleships. Here you're going to expected to play British and Pan-Asian destroyers. There's no synergy here. It's not like play British ships, all of them, or whatever. Then you can play a combination of cruisers, battleships, whatever, and you can all synergize it. No, it doesn't work that way. You've got to earn then on a CV 350,000 free experience, which the only way you're going to get that is literally burning free XP and free XP camos and free XP flags just out the wazoo. And then Japanese and French cruisers. Oh, also free experience, and more free experience, and more free experience. And the last one of all is European ships. Get 580,000 commander experience. Literally a mission that is locked behind having resources to acquire either Friesland or Bliskovica, but yeah, good luck with that. And by the way, getting commander experience, like, just unbelievable. None of these missions synergize. Getting 1.1 million experience is the equivalent of grinding tier 1 to tier 10. And you've got to do it in the course of, in this case, because this directive unlocks basically at the end, you've got to do this grind in like 2 days. 350,000 experience, like individually doing one of these is going to take you some time. This is not something, and when I say this is going to take you some time, this is going to take you some time to do with all the camo buffs. Like, if I was to go into a ship, and this is for people who are gonna go, oh, are you sure? Like, you would basically have to go and get a ship. I'm just gonna pick my Montana right now, and I would basically have to go into my exterior, and I would have to get rid of all or most of these combat flags, straight go into EXP flags, EXP per battle flags, all these red dragon flags, not this one. Have to go to this one, Hydra, have to go and use this one, Leviathan, have to basically use Basilisk. I have to use all of these flags. Then I have to go into my camo stash, and again, how many people have so much on hand? Then I have to go into my camo stash, burn through things like the Type 59 camos, which are 200 EXP, plus 200% EXP per battle, and have access to like every little boost, like like military month contributor flags and things like that. What was the other one I had from back in the day? Alpha flags, alpha tester flags, 5% EXP. Like, I literally have to max every single thing, and even then, playing a standard game is gonna net me what, like 15-20,000 experience, 350,000, and I got and that freaking Directive 7. You've got to do in as fast as you humanly can. Just what? The actual... the whole point, like, the whole thing feels like a dirty, ugly attempt to grab money by, like, making you, you know, like, they put this really shiny thing here and they made it so outrageously difficult to do. Not nearly the way they put it on their website, where they go, oh yeah, don't worry, it's entirely possible to do. Just simply do these directives. No, this is so insanely difficult that I looked at the missions and I don't even think with me playing hardcore I'd be able to, like, do it in a reasonable time, and especially now considering the fact that I actually have to go do something for like 2 weeks. If I get back, even if I were, you know, to go ahead and spend the 24,000 doubloons, I'd still have trouble, I think, finishing the ship. Right? So, like, the only other option in my case would be basically to spend $30, because once you buy all the boosts, you can instantly spend more money to build this. It's just crazy. It's crazy. I don't understand what's going on with Wargaming. In the past, when they've done, you know, holiday things, it's felt, you know, generous. It's felt like, you know, thanks for sticking by with us, you know, for another year. We appreciate the continued support of our players. You know, here, let's have a good end to the year. Let's do something great. And then this year, it's just like, nope, can we get as much money out of you as humanly possible? Forget the fact that a lot of people, especially around the Christmas holiday season, you know, money is not flowing everywhere. There's a lot of gifts to buy, a lot of people to take care of, and here was Wargaming coming in and going, right, we want not just a little bit of your money, we want as much money as we can humanly get out of you. You know, forget that there's a gambling mechanic in place with the crates, and this is pretty damn disgusting. This is awful. This is an awful system. You know, I don't even think if you no life the shit out of this, you'd even be able to do it. I don't even think you can do that without spending some money, at the very least. This is awful. Just positively awful. The directives are done in a way that they don't synergize well. They don't try to even remotely make it so that it's easier to do. It is just all the way through trying to make your life as difficult as possible. Just not even a little bit of difficulty or even a reasonable amount of difficulty. This is like difficulty cranked up to, like, beyond maximum. This is Wargaming saying to you that during the holiday season, you should not do anything except play this damn game. That's it. Unless you're willing to give them money as the only way. Like, you gotta buy your, like, you gotta literally buy your freedom. Like, you know, you gotta give them money if you want to be able to go do something else. Otherwise, you better be on your chair with your ass in your chair the whole day long playing their freaking directives, trying to satisfy those missions in order to even get maybe a chance to finish the ship. It is just, this is the worst thing I have seen from Wargaming in a very, very long time. The worst. You know, there were things that were bad in the past, but this is just, this is mean. This is cruel. This is not a thank you for sticking by us and having, you know, another year and look forward to more. This is just, give us your money. Give us as much money as you just. That's all I've got to say today. I'm just so pissed off. I'm so angry at this thing. It's not even like the directives are not even reasonable. They're not even reasonable. They're just... Anyways, that's all I gotta say. I'm so mad at this. This is disgusting. This is a horrible event. There's none of the ease of doing this, reasonableness of doing this. None of that. None of that. If you want to do this and you don't want to be spending doubloons or whatever, I hope you're willing to commit the entirety of your holiday break to doing this one grind. Otherwise, get ready to pay money. That's it. Just like, I hope you have money ready, because it's just no way. I don't think there's. You know what? I'd almost say for the wargaming staff who claim it is possible to do this as an entirely free to play player without spending money, I want to see you do it. I want to see you guys make an entire video series showing one of you, just one of you, do the entire bloody thing and building the ship. I want to see it. I really do. I want to see you guys do it. I want to see how much time you have to put into it, how many sacrifices you have to make around this holiday season in order to do this. That's all I gotta say tonight. Yeah. Fuck this mission. Yep. Fuck these directives and fuck the shipbuilding. God damn it. Alright, folks. I'll catch all of you again soon.